Attention passionate Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the AFC North and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Pittsburgh Steelers' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Pittsburgh Steelers fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with your friends and Pittsburgh Steelers fans. Let's get to the news all right. Steelers Nation, buckle up because what I'm about to tell you could be one of the biggest stories of the NFL season, and it involves a potential blockbuster trade that might just reshape the AFC North as we know it. Rumors are swirling around that the Cincinnati Bengals, currently sitting at a disappointing 3-7 record and clearly in rebuild mode after a rough start to the season, might be willing to part ways with one of their most explosive offensive weapons, Ja'Marr Chase. And get this, the proposed deal would see Chase heading straight to Pittsburgh in exchange for a first-round pick in the 2026 NFL Draft. That's right, folks. A straight-up, high-stakes move that could redefine the Steelers' offensive future and shake up the division. Now, I know what some of you might be thinking. Is this really happening? Well, the sources close to NFL insiders like Adam Schefter and Diana Rossini are whispering about a hypothetical post-deadline blockbuster. The idea is that Cincinnati, dealing with a team that's bleeding points and struggling to get out of the basement, would send Chase, who's been a deep threat, a game changer, and a true vertical assassin to the Steelers. Why Pittsburgh? Because with Chase in the mix, the Steelers would suddenly gain an unstoppable weapon capable of igniting their offense and elevating their chances of competing for Super Bowl LXI. And in return, Cincinnati would free up around $12 million in cap space, which they could use to shore up a sagging offensive line that's been allowing a staggering 28 sacks this season, or to invest in other pieces to rebuild their roster. But let's dig deeper into this. Chase, as we all know, is a rare talent. The guy's a deep ball predator, a route runner with speed and hands that make defenses second-guess every coverage. In 2025, he's been absolutely electric, with 79 receptions, 861 yards, and 5 touchdowns in just 10 games. That's an average of 86. 1 yards per game, leading the league in receiving yards. His yards after catch, YAC, average is a solid 2 yards per reception, turning checkdowns into big plays and creating mismatches in coverage. His PFF grade sits at a remarkable 91. 2, which puts him in elite territory, and he's a nightmare to cover with a league-leading 1 yards of separation per route. Chase's career stats already read like a highlight reel. Over 200 receiving yards and 40 touchdowns, with a 10.9 yards per target average in 2025. Despite a minor ankle injury in Week 3, he bounced back strongly, posting 149 yards in Week 4, showing resilience and a hunger to dominate. What makes Chase so dangerous? It's his explosiveness, his speed, a blazing 34 40-yard dash, and his reliable hands, just a 2.1% drop rate this season. He forces defenses into tough mismatches, and that's something the Steelers desperately need. Think about it. Adding Chase to Pittsburgh's offense would give Kenny Pickett a true #1 receiver, someone who can stretch the field, create yards after catch, and turn third-and-long situations into big gains. With Chase, the Steelers could easily project over 200 receiving yards in 2026, boosting their offensive production from 24. 6 points per game to well over 28. And that's not all. His presence would open up more opportunities for the entire offense, including the running game and play-action passes. Now look at the Bengals. They're in a tough spot. With a 3-7 record, their defense is hemorrhaging points, allowing an average of 33 points per game. And their offense is struggling to find consistency. They're also facing cap issues, with only about $8 million in cap space available and extensions pending for key players like T. Higgins. Their offensive line has been a sieve, allowing 28 sacks, which makes it clear they're in full rebuild mode. Cincinnati's management might see trading Chase as a necessary move to free up cap space and focus on building through the draft. The idea is to acquire young talent, especially along the offensive line, to protect Joe Burrow better and create a more sustainable team. They're also looking to add draft capital, and sending Chase away for a first-round pick in 2026 could be a strategic way to accelerate the rebuild. But here's the catch. Losing Chase would be a blow to Cincinnati's offense. He's the kind of game changer who can turn close games into blowouts. His ability to generate plus 15% EPA per pass, according to advanced metrics, makes him one of the most impactful receivers in the league. Without him, the Bengals could see their offense stagnate further, especially given the struggles they've had this season. They're 22. 8 points per game is already among the lowest in the league, and losing Chase could make that even more difficult to overcome. It's a gamble for Cincinnati, but one they might be willing to take if they believe it will set them up for long-term success. Now let's shift gears and look at what this move could mean for the Steelers. Adding Chase would be like injecting a shot of adrenaline into an already solid offense. Pittsburgh's passing game would become one of the most dangerous in the league. Imagine Chase lining up across from George Pickens. Opposing defenses would have no choice but to double-team him, freeing up Pickens for more one-on-one opportunities. That stretch the field, open up the middle, and create a nightmare for defenses trying to contain the Steelers' offense. With Chase in the fold, Pittsburgh's offense could easily push their points per game from 24.6 to over 28, maybe even higher, making them a true contender. And it's not just about the offense. Chase's presence would have a ripple effect on the entire team. The defense, which has been solid, could breathe easier with a more potent offense, forcing opponents to abandon their game plans and play catch-up. Turnovers become more frequent when the offense is firing on all cylinders, and that leads to more possessions and better field position for the Steelers' defense. Plus, Chase's ability to generate big plays, 15 big plays of over 20 yards this season, adds a dimension that Pittsburgh has been missing. That kind of explosive threat can flip the momentum in key moments, especially in the playoffs. Speaking of playoffs, the betting odds for the Steelers to reach Super Bowl LXI would skyrocket with Chase. Currently, their odds hover around plus 1,500, but if this trade goes through, those odds could improve to around plus 700 or even better. That's a huge boost, and it reflects how much Chase's impact would be valued in the postseason. His ability to exploit weak defenses, like the Ravens, who allow 25 1 points per game, could be the difference in close playoff games. This move would give Pittsburgh a real shot at turning the corner, making a deep run, and possibly winning it all. The analytics support this too. Adding Chase would increase their win probability by at least 10%, a significant jump that could propel them toward championship contention. Now, let's talk about the bigger picture. This trade, if it happens, could be a turning point not just for Pittsburgh, but for the AFC North. Imagine a Steelers team with Chase as their offensive centerpiece, a true anchor for years to come. Meanwhile, Cincinnati would be left scrambling in their rebuild, trying to find the next star to lead their offense. It's a move that would send shockwaves through the league, shaking up the division hierarchy and raising the stakes for every team involved. Of course, there are skeptics. Some might argue that losing Chase weakens Cincinnati's offense too much, especially since he's responsible for a significant chunk of their EPA in passing plays. Others might worry about the long-term cap implications for the Bengals and whether they can develop their young talent effectively without Chase. But for the Steelers, this is a golden opportunity. They're already a competitive team, and adding a talent like Chase could finally push them over the edge, making them legitimate Super Bowl contenders. The potential to turn Chase into a focal point of their offense for the next several seasons is tantalizing and could redefine their offensive identity. Looking ahead, if this trade materializes, the Steelers could see a huge boost in their chances of winning the Super Bowl. The odds would shift dramatically, and the narrative around their season would change from underdog to serious contender. Chase's ability to turn tight games into blowouts, to exploit defenses with speed and precision, could be the missing piece that Steelers fans have been dreaming of. It's a move that could bring a new level of excitement and hope to the Steel City, fueling the passion of fans who have waited patiently for a championship-caliber team. So, in conclusion, while this is still just speculation at this point, the potential of Ja'Marr Chase landing in Pittsburgh is enough to send shockwaves through the league. It's a bold, high-stakes move that could set the Steelers up for a dynasty, while Cincinnati attempts to rebuild from the ground up. The NFL is all about these dramatic shifts, and Steelers Nation should be ready for what could be the most exciting offseason story of all. Stay tuned, because if this trade happens, it will be one of the biggest headlines of the year, and it could very well change the course of the Steelers franchise for years to come. Pause here just for a second. If you want the YouTube algorithm to keep recommending the latest Pittsburgh Steelers news to you, it's super important that you leave a like on this video. Go ahead, it's quick and it makes a big difference. Thank you. Now let us continue with the big reveal. And now, Pittsburgh Steelers fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Steelers. Do you think Chase would be the perfect fit? Are you excited about the possibility of seeing him in black and gold? Or do you believe Cincinnati should hold on to him and try to rebuild around him? Whatever your thoughts, we want to hear them. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Steelers news. The offseason is heating up, and with rumors like this swirling around, we're in for one heck of a ride. So keep your passion high, your fandom strong, and let's see how this story unfolds. Because one thing is for sure, if this move happens, it's going to be a game changer for the Steelers and the AFC North as a whole. Stay with us, Steelers Nation. We're just getting started.